So, let's go back to here. We have a meditation practice, and a whole heap of stuff designed around that principle. In the meditation practice, oh yeah, that's better. Some of you that have been in and out of here from time to time will be aware that at different times there gets to be a bit of energy, and you can feel the energy, and it's nice. If you consider these four letters here, they have a correspondence to the four elements of nature. Of course, this represents the spirit, and the spirit is in triplicity. Christ amidst the two thieves as such, but in triplicity. That's what I said here, that basically this represented, because the base of the candle is the four elements, the flame is the spirit. In every religious ceremony there is a flame or a candle. For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire. This is a particular name that does correspond to the name of Jesus. I call it a few other things, which I find personally more agreeable, but it's irrelevant. It's a name, and there are many names, it's a name of the principle that we can call the Lord, which may well be experienced in nature as that incredible intelligence that maintains existence. That amazing intelligence. If there's something in nature that I can see that we can consider to be divine and lordly, that'll do me. I'm happy with that. Yeah? When it's translated, it translates to Yeshua, which is the name of Jesus. I mean, it's a name that's by tradition of thousands of years been the name of the Redeemer, because it contains within it the process of liberation. And like I think somewhere in the Bible, you know, Jesus said, in my name will great things be done, blah blah blah. Well, name is a very big thing for the Kabbalists. We work with names. And for me, it's not so much the pronunciation of the name, but it's knowing what it represents. Because I never pronounce any of those words correctly. I'm terrible. But I know the principle. Therefore I create my own language. I was fortunate that when I went to school, I found out I was possibly dyslexic, and I couldn't read very well. So I had to intuit, and words became symbols. A wonderful occult training. The cane didn't help a lot, but training of that sort of way, you know, helped a lot. That as well. But it's knowing the principles, right? So this name and this meditation practice, it can produce energy and phenomena, because it is holy and divine and relates to the Lord, and that principle. And I call it a principle because I don't want it to get too caught up in personages. You know, personages get caught up with religion and all the rest of the crap that goes with it. And all religions, you know, they're a path. They're a series of disciplines to be practiced religiously to attain a goal. But unfortunately, they've forgotten what the goal is, and the disciplines become the goal, and, you know, the ratty's running around in the wheel. It's going nowhere. But if you know what the goal is, then the disciplines can be used to attain the goal. But I prefer to sort of get out of all that crap and to find and see that principle everywhere in everything. For me, it's more fulfilling, you know. I can walk down the beach and I can see the principle. I can see a pippy going into the sand and go, look at that, it's happening there. I don't have to go, where? Jesus, Lord, you know, for fuck's sake. And Pippi's in there, you know, I don't need to see Jesus, Lord, the Pippi's there, that's cool. The bird flies over, yeah, it's happening. I'm here, I'm in it, and it's in me. And from that point of view, being hermetic enables us to take from everything. We don't have to be prejudiced about, you know, it's Islamic or it's Buddhist or it's whatever. If it uplifts us, if it brings us light, if it liberates us, so be it. And this principle that I'm talking about, there are many ways of utilising. Like there's this meditation practice, which tonight's, you know, we need a week. Through its symbology and all the rest of it unfolds the whole doctrine, actually. But there's a technique connected with it if you can put it to use. And it takes a bit of unsophistication to actually get to it. Usually it's you sort of, I've worked with people for a little while till they get to a point of appreciating the simplicity. But let's assume that in the centre of creation, in the centre of your being, is a flame. For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire. Let's just assume, like children, that there's this flame in the centre of creation. So just for a moment, just sort of visualise somehow that, you know, you're a flame. And the very core of your being is a flame. And that flame is totally economical. It consumes and devours and maintains light and life. When the flame goes out, you're out of here. You may exist, but you're not here. So while you're alive here, you've got a flame. And the more you make a conscious connection to that flame, that's not just I believe and cut off and go to sleep, but a conscious connection to it. Because that's the key. You know the tarot card Justice, have you seen that one? She's there, she's got the scales and things. That's a Hebrew letter Lamed. It's a number 30. And what it means is a conscious connecting link. And one of its totems, they have these little totems, is an ox prod. And what do you do with an ox prod? You prod the ox. Yeah? The letter Aleph, the fool, is the ox. And that fool needs a prod along to keep going. And what creates that prod, whatever way it goes, is the conscious connecting link. Not the unconscious connecting link, not the slumber, but the conscious connecting link. Being awake, being present, being conscious of. Make sense? There's a difference between surrendering to that by... The surrendering to something like that is an opening up process. It's an opening up to it, which is totally different to I don't want to know and are closed down and shut off. That's it.